Welcome to today's exciting English lesson. Glowing star, have you ever felt like your English skills are stuck and you're not sure how to move forward? Well, today we have something special for you. Imagine you're having a casual conversation in English, but it feels natural and effortless. It's all possible when you learn English through stories. This method helps you practice real-life vocabulary, grammar, and phrases, all while keeping you engaged in fun, meaningful stories. Introduce the topic. Today, we're diving into the world of storytelling to help improve your English. In this lesson, we'll use a simple and engaging English story to practice key vocabulary and phrases. By the end of this lesson, you'll feel more confident in your ability to understand and speak English, using the power of stories to make everything stick. Why this lesson is important. Stories are not only fun, they're a fantastic way to build your English skills. Stories introduce new vocabulary and context, show you how to use different sentence structures, and even help you understand cultural references and idioms. By practicing through stories, you'll see real progress in your speaking, listening, and even writing skills. You're about to unlock the secrets of better communication in English. Let's get started and enjoy learning in a way that makes English feel natural and exciting. Storytelling is one of the oldest and most powerful ways humans communicate. Whether it's a fairy tale, an adventure, or a personal experience, stories provide context that helps us connect words to meaning. When learning a language like English, storytelling is incredibly effective because it's not just about memorizing vocabulary, it's about learning the words through rich, engaging experiences. For example, when you hear the phrase, "Once upon a time, there was a brave knight," you're not just learning the words brave and knight, but you're also connecting them to a character, setting, and action, making them easier to remember and use. Why it works. When you read or listen to a story, you're not learning vocabulary in isolation. You're seeing how words are used in context, how characters speak, and how conversations flow. This provides a natural way to understand grammar, sentence structure, and meaning. For example, imagine a character saying, "She hurried to the door, her heart racing." This teaches you the meaning of hurried, heart racing, and shows how they fit together in a real-life situation. Tip for better learning. Try reading the story aloud. This helps you improve your pronunciation and retention of vocabulary. The more you hear and say the words, the more likely you are to use them naturally in your own conversations. Introducing new words. Stories are fantastic for introducing new words. They present vocabulary in a way that shows you how to use it, making it easier to remember and apply. For today's story, we'll focus on a few phrases and words that are essential for building your English vocabulary. Example, set out. When a character decides to set out on an adventure, the phrase set out means to begin a journey. This phrase can also be used in other contexts, such as starting a task or goal. For instance, I set out to complete my homework in 1 hour. Phrase 1, set out, meaning, to begin a journey or task. Example, she set out to learn how to play the piano. Phrase 2, brave, meaning, someone who shows courage or faces challenges without fear. Example, the brave firefighter ran into the building to save the children. Using vocabulary in context. Now that we've introduced these words, let's see how they work in sentences. She was brave enough to set out on a journey alone. He set out to explore the unknown land. After learning these new words, try writing your own sentences using them. Then say the sentences out loud. This will reinforce your learning and help you use the vocabulary naturally. Storytelling and grammar. One of the great advantages of learning English through stories is that they help you understand grammar in a natural context. By paying attention to how sentences are formed in the story, you'll start to pick up on grammar rules without the need for memorization. Stories show you how tenses, prepositions, and sentence structures are used in everyday language. Example, past simple tense. In the story, you might hear a sentence like, "He walked to the park." This tells you that the action, walking, happened in the past. The verb walked is in the past simple tense, indicating that the action is completed. Grammar focus. We'll focus on a few key grammar points today. He walked to the park yesterday. She sat on the bench, looking at the sky. While listening to or reading the story, try to identify which tenses are used and why. For instance, if you hear "she is reading," you know it's present continuous, showing an ongoing action. The more you practice this, the better you'll understand grammar intuitively. Improving pronunciation. English pronunciation can be tricky, but storytelling helps you hear words in context, making it easier to mimic natural pronunciation. When you hear a character say something in a story, pay attention to how words are pronounced and try to repeat them exactly as you hear them. Example. Consider the sentence, "The little girl whispered softly." This sentence helps you practice the WH sound in whisper and the soft S sound in softly. By saying these words aloud, you improve your articulation and fluency. Intonation and rhythm. English has a unique rhythm and intonation. When we speak, our voice rises and falls, which is especially important in storytelling. The rise and fall of your voice can convey meaning and emotion. For example, in the sentence, "She didn't want to leave, but she had no choice." Notice how your voice drops at leave and rises at choice. This creates emphasis and conveys the character's internal conflict. Try imitating the rhythm and stress you hear in the story. Focus on the pauses, emphasis, and pitch changes. Doing so will help you sound more natural when you speak English. Improving listening and comprehension. Listening to stories also improves your comprehension skills. As you listen to the story, try to understand the overall meaning, not just the individual words. Afterward, you can answer questions to test your understanding. Example questions. What was the main character's goal? What challenges did the character face? How did the character feel at the end of the story? Engagement tip. One of the best ways to reinforce your learning is by practicing storytelling yourself. Try retelling the story in your own words. This will help you recall new vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. The more you practice speaking and thinking in English, the more fluent you'll become. By actively engaging with a story, whether by listening, speaking, or writing, you'll build your confidence in English and improve your communication skills. In summary, using storytelling to learn English is an enjoyable and effective way to improve your vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, and comprehension. Stories provide context that makes new words stick and help you see how language functions in real-life situations. So, the next time you pick up a story, remember, it's not just about reading. It's about learning English in a fun, natural way. Now, it's time to put what you've learned into practice. I'll read a short passage from the story, and after that, I want you to answer the questions below. Write your answers in the comments. The sun was setting, casting a warm golden glow over the town. Sarah felt a mix of excitement and fear as she stood at the edge of the forest. She had never gone this far before, but today, she was determined to face her fears. What is Sarah feeling at the moment? What is Sarah about to do? Can you find a new vocabulary word in the passage that you've learned today? Action. I encourage you to read this passage aloud, paying attention to pronunciation and intonation. Notice how the words flow together, and practice the rise and fall of your voice as you speak. This will help improve your fluency. After that, share your answers with me. This will help reinforce the new words and structures you've learned. Let's keep practicing and have fun with it. Today, we've learned how stories can help you improve your English in an engaging and practical way. By listening to or reading stories, you can expand your vocabulary, practice grammar in context, and work on pronunciation. Stories not only make learning enjoyable but also give you a deeper understanding of how English works in real-life situations. Why these concepts are important. Mastering English isn't just about memorizing vocabulary. It's about using it confidently in conversations. By learning through stories, you get to see how words, phrases, and grammar come together naturally, making them easier to remember and use. This approach helps you become more fluent, and ultimately, more confident when speaking in English. Encouragement. Remember, practice makes perfect. The more you listen to stories, speak out loud, and try retelling them, the more your skills will improve. It may take time, but with consistent practice, speaking English will become second nature. Keep going and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Each one is a step toward improvement. You're doing great. If you enjoyed today's lesson, Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more engaging English lessons. We release new content every week to help you improve your skills in fun and practical ways. Be sure to follow us on social media and check out the additional resources in the description below to keep learning. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and remember, learning English is a journey, not a race. See you in the next lesson, and happy learning!